to set up and use the Dawn theme. So when you sign up for a trial, which you'll hopefully do in my little link down below, of course, you know, I got a little plug down there for us. Then you sign up. You can sign up for 14 days for free. You can set up your whole store. You can use it. You can add products, set up everything to payments, launch it, and you can start making sales before the 14 days is up. So if you're fast enough and you want to do that, it's usually nice to do it over the weekend. You can sit there, tinker around with it, watch this video, and then go online and start, you know, marketing and selling your products. Try to build the channel. So if you can, you know, subscribe, smash, hit, like, all the button, all the stuff they always say in these stupid videos. Please do so. Okay, now moving forward, we're gonna go ahead and enter our email address. It'll start the sign up process, send you an email, you'll link, you click on it, you'll log in, enter your information. I'm not gonna do any of that. So I'm gonna say that we already did that, and we're gonna be taken to, and once we're finished, we'll be landing on our store page here. So once and it's going to take you actually to this home page here, and it walks you through, you know, find products, customize your theme, add your pages, add your domain, set up your payments. So what I always like to do is you go to online store before I start even adding the rest of the payments you can, and just see I have an updated copy of Dawn. I just added it in here because it's the newest version, just so you can see it. Today is June 29th, 2022. We can use the basic version of Dawn. If you want to install another free theme from the Shopify store, you can. You can go to Explore Themes. I'll cover these other themes in other videos just in case you want to test those out as well. They look a little weird. And then you can go to Shopify, you know, payments, you know, the Shopify theme store and buy one. So they range anywhere from like, you know, $100 to $350, $400. They get kind of expensive. You can always go to like Theme Forest or Template Monster or Envato or any of those online and actually buy themes that are even cheaper. So, and then you can upload them and add them right into Shopify. So you can either explore them right here on the theme store, or you can go directly to one of those other locations and purchase a theme from them and then install it. If you're just starting out, it's always good to just use the base theme just to get started so you get familiar with the inside of the workings of Shopify. Now there are some pages and things you're going to want to add to Shopify so that you can pass the payments process through Shopify. So you need to have a privacy policy, you need to have shipping and returns, you need to have terms and conditions. And what I'll usually do, and also an About Us page and a contact page, right? So you have to be a legitimate store. You know, don't try to hide yourself. So we can go to pages over here, and then if you look in here, I've already created a couple of pages. In here you have About, and then Privacy and Contact. There's a few other ones I'm going to create, so it's real easy. You just go ahead and go over Pages underneath Online Store. I'm going to click on Add Page. I'm going to call this Shipping and Returns. Shipping and Returns. You can use the ampersand sign here if you want. That's fine. I want it to be visible, and I'll put all my terms and conditions in here. You can use the default page, which it's going to remain, and then select Save. So where do you get the information for that? You're going to have to create your own information, or you can go online and look for examples of shipping and returns. Now, Shopify itself has a policies page, and you can copy the information right into these pages. It also does have these created by default now, but it doesn't make them pages. And what that means is that if you're trying to link to them, you can link it directly to those pages, but it's always best to create a page first for shipping and returns, privacy, terms, so you can control what's on those pages, okay? So next page I'm going to go ahead and create. I'm going to select create another page, and I'm going to create terms and conditions. So I'll just call it terms and conditions, and yes, I use the ampersand sign on purpose. And I'll select Save. So now I've got privacy, terms and conditions, and I got shipping and refunds. Well, what I usually do is I like to keep a couple of windows open, tabs open in my browser, and I'll go back and forth when I'm getting this information. But I'm just going to show you, if you're going to use the same browser, click on Settings, and you're going to come down to Policies. When you click on Policies, you're going to see you have these the refund policy, and you can just select to replace the template with whatever you want. So your current refund will replace refund policy template, right? So you can just grab all the info that they put in here for your refunds, right? Your refund policy, and as you scroll down the page, you'll see privacy page, and then you can create a template. Your terms of service, you can create a template, right? And then shipping, I don't have one, so but you can create it and put the information in there. So what I'll end up doing then is on this guy is click on save because I just updated that information. I'll close out of this settings and then I grab that refund policy. So I'll just go back over the pages and I'll look for shipping and returns and you put your, shippings, returns. Here, we'll do it this way. Shipping, returns, refunds. Or you can just call it policies, whatever you want to do, right? So I'll just paste that in there, and that gives me all nice and pretty stuff. I want to, edit it and make changes to it. I can click bold and italic and underline and make all the little indentation stuff. Don't put videos on there. You can pop an image on there if you want. You can upload images. You can do product images if you've uploaded them, etc. And then you can put those on there very easily. If you're a coder and you want to flip over to source, you can mess around with that, but don't really mess around with that. You don't need to. So now if you look at this, you're on this page, shipping and returns. And for SEO purposes, I always just add the business name. So in this case, why don't we call it, so shipping, refunds, returns, right? So shipping, I'll just call it and returns. And this is what the search engines will see once they start indexing my page. And I'll call this My Cool Store. So that's my business name, right? My Cool Store. So anytime, I always want to brand myself, right? So when I'm making these pages and I'm putting them out there, I always want to have whatever the page is and then my stuff, right? And so if you look at this, you'll see shipping and returns is now my URL, is this long URL because you can see it's Living La Biche La Loca. It's an old domain I had, so I put it on here. I got a couple dogs. Anyway, so you don't have to use the copy that's in here for this little snippet that's the description for this search engine stuff. So this information here is what the search engines will see right below your name when this information here. So if you wanted to change the copy here to My Cool Store, or whatever, you can start typing in here and make the changes, right? So you can delete all the stuff that's in here and then make the change. It does 320 characters. You probably don't want to use that many, but you see how it kind of cuts that off, and now I can put in whatever I want. I could type in and do whatever the hell I want there, okay? So you can put in stuff that's a little more friendly. Here's our policies, cool store stuff. So now that page is done, default template, it's visible, click save. And if you want to take a quick look at it, you don't have to go to the front. You can just click on view page. Now here's my shipping and refunds. There's Living La Biche La Loca or My Cool Store. And then we have this, and here's all my stuff, and blah, 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 right? Okay, so now I need to go do the other pages. So I'll click on this page here, and I'll go to terms and conditions. I don't have anything on this page, so I'll go ahead and click on settings, and then I'll go to policies down here on the left. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my terms. So let's grab the terms and conditions. And you're going to want to read this and change it. It's a bunch of stuff in here. And then if you use the template that's in here, watch what happens when I use the temp. So I'm going to replace the template, say replace. It's going to say like insert your stuff here. Let me see if it changed it. Online terms. Okay, yeah, here we go. So link to refund policy. So it's going to update and put these things in here. So you're going to want to go through and read this whole thing. And then you can get rid of that and then obviously link it to your refund policy if you wanted to, right? So here's some other stuff. Link to your privacy policy. That's not actual links. So you're going to want to go ahead and create and update that stuff, right? So I'll just go ahead and copy all this stuff from my terms. I'll click save. And then I'll exit out. And it should take me back to the terms page. Here we go, terms, conditions. And I'll just paste it in here. And then again, I'll scroll down, edit website SEO. Terms and conditions, and then you can use a dash or you can use a pipe. That's the thing that goes up and down on your keyboard. And if you hold the shift key down and you select the backslash, which is this guy right here, if you hold the shift key down, it'll give you that, okay? So it doesn't matter which one you use. So terms, conditions, My Cool Store, and it's Living La Biche La Loca, but I'm not going to put that in there because it's confusing for people. Okay, so leave everything else defaulted, select save, and you can view it again if you want to look at it. So like I said, I'll just keep this open as another tab, and then you can start scrolling down and read all the info and then make changes you need to do. And you'll notice that those links are in there. It's going to say link to your Yeah, link to refund policy. See, it doesn't make a link. It's not code. So you got to get rid of that or update it or whatever. Okay, so now I have a couple pages created. I do want to create, let's see if I got some products in here. I think I put a few in here from before. So here's some products in here. First thing you're going to want to do is create some collections. So I have Kitchen Smart, Kitchen, Women's Fashion. So for collections, Shopify in general has two types of collections. One is there's a manual collection. The other one is called the Smart Collection. The manual collection allows you to actually physically click on the collection, and then you scroll down here, and you'll have to browse and select the products that go on that collection. Okay, so let's go through that process for a manual collection. So I'll go to Collections. I'm going to click on Create Collection, and if you scroll down just a little bit, I'll make the screen smaller because it's a little big. You click on Manual, right? One by one. You can always read about this stuff, but this is easier. So Manual, and I'm going to call this Gadgets, DGT, whatever, right? And Manual. So you know it's my manual collection. So you know this is my manual Gadgets, GADGETs collection, right? That's going to be at the top. And then if you look at this, you got online store availability. So it's going to, you can schedule the availability, or you can say, here's my 2 sales channels, Living La Vida Loca, online store, collection image. So if I wanted to have an image that goes at the very top of my collection, I can select something. Here, let me just grab this Sparkle Brew thing. I'm not really sure what that is. I think it's an image of someone's products. There we go. So if you do decide to do this and you want to put these images on here for your collection so that someone sees a banner on the top of your category/collection, you can do that. But if you do that, make sure that you add your alt tag to that. So the alt tag is for the image and it's for search engines, right? So I want this to be called Gadgets Manual, right? Click on that and here's your alt tag. Don't forget to do this. So Gadgets Manual, and then if you had other stuff on here, you could say phones, calculator, whatever, in Los Angeles or wherever you are, right? Let's say San Diego here. Let's just do it easier, San Diego. So now if I'm doing searches and stuff, Gadgets Manual, if I was looking for that, I'm looking for gadgets like phones, calculators, whatever, in San Diego. This image will actually help you with your search engine stuff too. So you select Save. And now you've got that. Now this isn't saved yet, so I need to do another thing here. Edit website SEO. I've got Gadgets Manual. I wanted to put My Cool Store, right? And then I'd put my description in here, whatever it's going to be. So right now it's going to automatically fill whatever's in the description up here, but you really want to be descriptive. So, gadgets from around the world, phones, TVs, stuff, whatever, right? So now I have this default collection. You only got one. You don't have anything. It's this real basic template. So this theme template, if you have, or you purchase one online, a lot of times you'll have a bunch of different styles in here for you to select. Since this is a free template from Shopify and it's basic, there aren't a lot of options for it. So we're going to go ahead and select Save. Now that we have a collection, we can go ahead and look at this thing and say View and see how it looks. So if you look at this, the image isn't showing up, right, up at the top. And that's because Dawn's basic version of the collection page doesn't put the image at the top. So you're going to have to do some coding to put it on there. So where does the image go? It goes on to the front page, like if you were to select and have some stuff on your home page, right? And now I've got some featured products here. Let me see. Multimedia. There's nothing showing right now. We'll get to this in a minute. But what happens is they're going to use this image, right, for inserting onto the home page or onto other pages. But if you wanted to add this collection image, you're going to have a coder like ourselves, Shopify Expert, add a new template for you, or just allow the ability to put the collection image there. I'm not going to show you that code in this tutorial. Okay, so I do want to add some products manually to this, right? So I only want to have a couple of products that I want the men's suit and I want the women's pants, which is not really women's pants. Select Add. So now only these 2 products will show on here. I don't have to select Save again. It's going to do it automatically when I add products. It only makes you save things when you actually change some of the text and other items in here, and you're always going to want to say Save. So if you add some stuff in here and you leave the page, it'll say, oh, do you want to leave? And you say no, and then you'll stay and save. So now I can view it again. So if I look at it now, I've got these products in here, right? Okay. So now I've got a couple of products. So now let me go back here. So this is a manual collection. So right now it's not in my navigation bar. So if I look at this collection, I got catalog, men's suits, women's fashion, kitchen. Notice my gadgets is not up here. So I still have to add it to the navigation bar if I am going to do that. So let's go back. So now I'm in my other tab. So now I've had my collection. I've added my products on here, right? So if you don't have any products, that's okay. You can always go to products, and I'll cover how to add those in a second. Now let's go ahead and, so we have our manual collection. Now let's do a dynamic, or it's called a smart collection. So gadgets manual, so let's go ahead and create. And what this is, this smart collection, gadgets, smart, right, is my smart collection. Automated, existing future products that match the conditions you set will automatically be added to this collection. What this means is you can tag your products, right, and they'll automatically show in this collection, so you don't have to go through and choose each product that you want to add to this. So this is helpful if you have a really large store. So you can say all conditions or any condition. So if I say all conditions and say product tag is equal to gadget, A-D-D-G-E-T, or add another condition, price is greater than $2, right? Add another collection. Another thing is weight is greater than 1 pound. So if you look at this, you have these other options that are in here. Now, if you look at is equal to, if I leave this the way this is, the only product or products that would be added to this, since it's all conditions, it's going to have the product tag of gadget. It's going to have to be a product price over $2, and it's going to have a weight over 1 pound. So if that is what your conditions are, and you want them to meet all of those before they're added to this collection, that's fine. Now, if you select any condition here, if it's the product tag has gadget, so anything that has product tag of gadget is going to end up in here. Anything that has a product price of $2 or more is going to end up in here. Anything that has a weight of 1 or more is going to end up in here. So it says this collection will include all products with at least one variant that matches price, weight, blah, blah. So if you do it this way, you're going to get all the different products. If you do this, you can really refine what products go on here. So it's really up to you on how you want to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and take these out of here, and I'm just going to leave product tag equals gadget so you can see. So right now I'll hit save, and I don't have any products that are tagged with gadget, so nothing's showing up here. So I'm just going to go to a product, and I'm going to tag it with gadget, and then come back to this collection. So let's just go to men's suit, and now I'll scroll down on the men's suit page and scroll down here on this one, and you'll see the tags. And I'm just going to add gadget, G-A-D-G-E-T. Now I've got add gadget, and I click add gadget there. Now it shows up there. I need to save it. Now if I go back to my collection, I'll go back to collections, and now here's my smart collection, and I'll click on that. Now I scroll down, and now you'll see there's my men's suit. So it's pretty cool because you can control it that way instead of having to add a bunch of things. If you're just adding products, you can go in there and just tag them with everything you want to do. So say you have 50 products and you want to tag everything with gadget. You don't want to do them one by one. You can do that as well. You click on products, and then you just click right here to select them all. And then say you have 100 products, right? If I go edit products, I can do it here, where I edit everything manually, or I can click here and select more actions, and this is probably easier. And then you could say add tags, and so I'll add tags, and I want to add, so it's not showing me what the tag is, so G-A-D-G-E-T, and then add gadget. There we go, and select save. So now it's putting gadgets on as a tag on all these products. So if I go back to my collections now, everything is tagged with gadget, so now I'm going to have all the products in here. See that? So it shows them all in one shot, which is really cool. So that's a manual collection and a smart collection. Okay. So now we'll just go through and quickly create we'll just create a product. So we're going to go over to products over here. And the reason why I'm doing this is so that we have some stuff to add to our store when we start building the front end, right? So we're not going to get into the rest of this stuff over here. We will go over settings. But I like to get in here and just start getting to work without messing around with any of the technical stuff in there, just to kind of build at least some framework so you can have this look and feel of this product, right? So I'm going to go ahead and select add product, I want to add a new product. I'm going to call it, let's see, let's call it reflective running vest. Okay, so I have my cool, reflective running vest. Okay, and then I have it in draft status, so it's not on my store yet. Now, if you look over here, you have sales channels, right? So if you look at this, I've got online store and Living La Biche La Loca. I'm just going to click save. I'm going to show you the sales channels. Now, sales channels, if you decide to add Facebook, you have point of sale, you have other channels in here. And what they are, it's just places where you can sell. There's Etsy, there's Amazon, everything. So there are apps that do it, and then there's these sales channels. So say, for instance, I had Facebook and Google and everything, they would all show up over here. So if I wanted to show this product only on Facebook and not on my online store, I have a little checkbox to do that. So I'll select Manage. I'm going to say Online Store and just leave Living La Biche La Loca. I don't know why that's selected, but anyway, we're going to leave those intact. So then we scroll down here. We're going to select Media. We want to add whatever image we want to add for this. And then just let me go grab here, active. Yeah, let me grab this guy. And then we'll just grab some products. And then let me grab, oh, here we go, Runner's Night, Light. So Knox Gear, let's grab, I think that's, let's grab a resistance band because I don't have any images of that other thing. So let's just grab some of this. Resistance strength training, let's just grab this guy. Okay, so I know it's a running vest, but here's my resistance band guy. I'm going to go and select another one, girl resistance bands. And then I'm going to show another product. Now, these are just products, the pictures for the product, so you can show, what it, oh, there's another one. Let me take that out. Let me see if I can find another one with the actual product image in it. Men's Health, Shark Tea, Trust Badge, Yoga Workout. I don't know. Let's just throw this in here. Now, the same thing with these images, you're going to want to make sure that if you're trying to get this like organically ranked and not, pay for ads and stuff, you can help yourself out by adding the alt tags on these. So you click on the image, you click on add alt tag, and I'll call this, it's a running vest for our product, right? Reflective running vest up here, but obviously it's a picture of resistance bands. But I'll just put in reflective running vest for sale, right? And I'll select save alt tag, close that one, I'll do this one. It's a lot of work, but once you get some stuff going, so it's girl, resistance, I'll say running, we'll say running band, sorry. Running vest for women, or whatever. So you want to kind of target the keyword to the people that what the image is actually doing, right? So it's a woman working out, so, running vest for women. Workout, what is it? Stay safe at night. I know it would help if the image and the alt tag were actually the same, so I do apologize for that. Now, when I'm creating my product here, so far what I've done is I got the title of it. I could start creating my cool description, and you really want to be descriptive in here. And when you do create the description, for the search engines as well. So this is your H1 tag, which is your heading, right? So the search engines are going to see that first. And that's what if you scroll all the way to the bottom, that's what they're going to see down here for the search engine preview, right? So we want to make this copy a little bit better. So we want to talk about the vest a little bit. And then if possible, add another tag in here, which is called an H2 tag, a heading 2, and then talk about the next important thing, stay safe at night, reflective vest. So, and then another little bit of snippet of text, but not too much, just because of its product, right? And we did that just so that we have a little bit of content for the page, as well as something for the search engines to kind of pick up and not just be this ugly product page. So type, Google has all these different types. When you get in here, it's kind of, it's daunting. So if I'm looking at this, you could say browse all, and then we're going to find what it is, and it's sporting goods or whatever, and You can add your own custom type. This is what Google will pick up. If you could find the Google types, you can do a search for Google and what types they have, and then you can actually classify them here. And it'll be easier for later when you add the Google Shopping app or sales channel to this that allows you to sell your products on Google Merch. I do have another video in this channel. If you do a search for how to connect Google Merch to Shopify, you'll find the video in this channel. And it shows you how to add the sales channel and to connect it and all that fun stuff. So here's the vendor, Live in La Biche La Loca. It's not really. We're just going to say it's Jack's Reflective Gear, whatever. Whoever your vendor is for that, you could put them in there. Now the collection. So I could manually, again, I could go ahead and select the collections that I want this in here. And notice that my Smart Collection doesn't show up here. See that? So it's only the manual collections. So if I want to show this under manual, and then I want to put it under men's suits, it'll show there in those two places. And then if I wanted to show in gadgets under my Smart Collections, I can just type in gadgets, and there's gadget. So now what'll happen is it's going to show up under my manual collection, and it's going to show up under my Smart Collection. Now I scroll down, there's no template for the product, right? Now here's the product price. So the product price is going to be $49.99, and then the compare price is $89.99. This is going to show what it was and then what it is now. And then you charge tax on the product. You're going to look in your own area for charging taxes. Next, when I come down, cost per item, you can track this if you want to for yourself internally. It is good for your books and your systems in place, etc. So I know that I paid $4.95 for this product, and I'm making a killing, right? Okay, so now I have the SKU. So I got the SKU and the SKU, the stock keeping unit. A lot of products will already have them on there. Just flip it over and you'll see what the actual SKU is. In this case, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then over here, this is important, right? So if you have a barcode or an ISBN number, if it's a book, you're going to have ISBN numbers, GTIN, and MPN. MPN is called a manufacturer's product number. So that's something that Google looks for too. So if you need to go find the MPN for your product, if it is a product that's kind of widely used, otherwise leave it blank. Later on when you start submitting stuff to Google, you'll get some complaints about the MPN not being there, and then you can come back in and fix your products for the ones that need the MPN. So we're not going to put that in there now. Continue selling when out of stock. If you do select this, what's going to happen is when you run out of your inventory, say you have 12, and then someone gets on there and buys number 13, it's going to let them buy it. But it's going to tell them, you know, it's on back order, right? But it's going to, or I'm sorry, it's going to let them buy it, and then you're going to get an email for them to purchase it. Now, if you're out of stock and you're having problems, you're going to have problems. So you can either not track quantity or you can track quantity. Track quantity, don't track quantity, right? So to update your quantity, save your changes. So we don't have anything saved yet. It's a physical product, and it's like 2 pounds, whatever. You could select customs information. You could read about this. You don't really need to use this, but you can if you're in a different country. Now, if this product has options like small, medium, large, it is a t-shirt where it's different colors. You're going to want to select this box here, and now let's just call it size. We'll just make it easier. So size, we'll select that, and then we're going to do small, and then you hit enter, and then you hit medium, and you hit enter, and you hit large, and you hit enter, and then you put XL. I'm not going to do another one. So once you do that, now what that has done is actually given me these variants that are going to drop down for the product. Now each one of these can have its own price. So if I want the medium to be $59.99 and I want the large to be $69.99, that's what's going to happen when it comes into play. Now each one of them also has its own quantity, has its own SKU, has its own barcode. Just think of them as separate products, even though they are the same product. So I have 3 of these guys, I have 2 of these, and I'm out of the large, right? So if I do that, I already have my SKUs, and you're going to want to match these up with your own stuff, right? You could also delete them. So now I've got that. Now if I want a different picture for each one of these sizes, I can do that as well. So say I want a picture, her for this one, and then for medium, I want to show this girl. You can do that. And then large, we'll just put this dude back on here. So now I got an image for each one. I get small, medium, large. They have their own stock. They have their own prices. Now, you can set the sale price also for each one of these, but I need to save this first. I'm going to come down and do one last edit, and then we'll save it. So this is reflective running vest, and then what are we going to do? My cool store, right? So You can add this in code if you want, but it's always better to just get in the habit of doing it here, build your own brand, right? Now let's go up, everything's good. Let's go ahead and select save. So now I've selected save. Now what this is gonna allow me to do is to get back into the product, and I can scroll down here, and I can come in and edit these. So if you look at this, say I want to put a sale price for this one, you click on edit, or you can select more pro. You can do all kinds of cool little stuff in here. So I can actually edit all of these in one shot, select more actions. I can edit the prices, the quantities, the SKUs, blah, 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 right? Okay, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to edit this small one. So here's the small that I'm going to edit. I could change the image if I want. So here's the price. So $4.99. I want it to be $99.99 for the small, right? And then here's my inventory. So how many do I have? I have 3, right? Physical product, it's 2 pounds. And then I select save. So now I've just updated the small, right? Now it's still in draft, so nobody sees it on the front end of my website. So if I go ahead and I go back and I select preview, so now I can see my product. Here's my reflective running vest. Jack's reflective gear, there's your vendor, right? It was $99 and something cents, and now it's $49. It's on sale. And then here's my small, medium, and large. Notice when I click it, the images change. Pretty cool, eh? All right, so I can scroll down some more, and now I got these other pictures as well. They get really big. My monitor is really huge, so I apologize for that. There you go. So you can see the other images that are available. And in this case, I had "You May Also Like" turned on. All right, so if you look at this, now I've got my description here. My cool running vest, blah, 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 blah. Stay safe at night, blah, 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 blah. With this particular theme, you probably want to do an H3 as well and go down the page. So you have H1, which is the heading tag, which is this guy. H1, heading 1. And then this is your heading 2. When I say that, as you're reading it, just like you're reading a book, right? And it's good for the search engine. Search engines see it. Hey, what's this page about? I want to read some more about this page. You know, sell me, right? So if you look at the $19.99, they sold out. The medium is sold out, and the large is sold out. So why are they sold out? If you look at that, you're like, what the hell? So look, oh, there we go. Add to cart. Lets me add to cart. So it's saying $19.99 USD, small, medium, add to cart. Let's see what happens. View my cart. So there's a setting in my theme that I have set that's showing this right here. So let's scroll down. Usually has to do with inventory. Okay, so now I've got some products on here. I'm going to go ahead and just publish it. I'll make it active. Okay, say save. So now it's live. It's on my site. It's ready to go. It's ready to be sold. It's on my sales channels. My sales channels are green now. Everything is selling. Sporting goods. Everything looks good. I'm ready to market the crap out of this thing, right? Well, we're not going to cover that in this video. So now we've got some products. We've got some collections in here, right? We don't have any customers. We don't have any analytics or discounts. You can start adding coupons if you want to. You can create a coupon for different things in here. I'll cover that in a few. But let's go over to the online store. Now we can start building this thing, or you can go in and add the rest of your information in here under settings to make your life a little easier. You can't see it, it's off my video screen, but there's a link on the bottom that says settings, and you click on that, and this will be your store details. And this is where you change, you put in your address, your phone number, email, don't spam me, and then you put in, you know, this is pretty important actually. So you have your weight units here, right? And then you also have your time zone, which you'll pick. Now, that should actually be Pacific for me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So if you scroll down here, what I have is when the orders come in, I have a prefix. So if I don't put anything in here, these orders will come in 1001, 1002, 1003. If you connect this to your QuickBooks or your Quicken or something else like that, and you have these numbers in here already, you're going to have conflicts. So it's always better to put something in the beginning or at the end, right, of your order. If you look at these numbers, so Shopify, I'll just put an end here, just so you can see. So you got Shopee 101 end, but if you wanted to have 10-end. So now this would be my order number if it came in, right? So I don't like that, but you can leave it like this and then put Shopify at the end. And then you'll know that 1001 SHPY is Shopify. Then that way it comes in your books, you can notice that it is a Shopify order. You want to select save. I realize that my screen is smaller on here. Let's move this up. That's my dog barking in the background. Okay. All right. So other stuff that I do in here, you've got your plan, your user permissions, your payments. We're not going to touch payments yet. You are going to need to set that up before you go live. Checkout and account, shipping, delivery, taxes, duties, locations, gift cards, markets, channels, domains. Later on, when you do add a domain name, you will connect it to here. You've got brand and then notifications. So meta fields, you don't really need to mess with that until later. Notifications, files, languages, and policies. Languages, if you do decide to put your website into another language once you're finished, you can do so, but you're going to have to do that with some technical know-how. Files, if you need to upload files into your site, you can do that here. You say upload a file, you wanted to upload a PDF file or a JPEG or just another, here, Men's Health, I want to upload that. And I want to have that file available when I'm building stuff out so that later on I can just go ahead and grab this link and it'll give me the link to this actual Men's Health thing. If I open up a new tab and hit paste it in there, there's my image, right? So pretty cool. Now, if I go down to checkout and accounts, let's go ahead and select that. You can customize the checkout with the logo and everything. You can do that in the customizer later, but you just go ahead and say show link in storefront and checkout. Require all customers to log in before checkout. You can do that, but you're going to kill your conversions. Login experience, new customer account, supports all customers with passwords for free login. Customer account, classic customer accounts, does not support B2B customers, blah, 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 blah. Just read through here and you're going to see what all this stuff is. Customer, here's my new customer account preview, domain, contact method, phone number, and email. Select what contact method customers use to check out, so they can use their phone number or email. And it's kind of good that you use the phone number too, because you can actually send SMS text messages to them for updates. And it's nice to get updates for shipping and when the order's been shipped and if it's been updated. So just leave these kind of defaulted. If they're not, go ahead and make sure they're selected. Select how customers can choose to get shipping updates. Now, customer info, require first and last name. It's pretty important. Make sure you just select that. Company name's optional unless you're doing B2B. Address line part 2. If you're international, you probably want to have required. Shipping address, phone number. Don't include. You can say optional, whatever. Some people like to have. If you're a gift site, you can put optional in there. Tipping. If you want to do tipping, you say you have something where you're delivering stuff to people and you want to allow tipping at the checkout, you can enable this and it'll allow the tip percentage. So you can have a drop down for what they can select at the end. I'll just leave that on there just so you can see how that works. Order processing, when the customer is checking out, use the shipping address, use the address auto completion. This is a cool function because it allows the address to be auto completed. After an order has been paid, don't fulfill any of the order's line items. The reason why you're doing this, right, is unless you have the product in your warehouse and you're ready to ship it as soon as you get a product and it's yours and it's in your location and you're in control of it, you can select automatically fulfill online orders. But you don't want to fulfill any of the order line items automatically, because what if you don't have it and you have it on stock on the website and somebody forgot to take it out of an inventory and stuff like that. So I just do this initially when you start a new store, so you have control over all the orders that are coming in and you have control over the processing and everything. Once you get a little more comfortable with the process of the orders coming in and you having product inventory, then you can come back in and turn this to automatically fulfill line items. It's up to you. After an order has been fulfilled and paid, or when a line has been refunded, automatically archive the order. That just cleans up space in the orders area so that you don't see all the old orders. Let customers subscribe to marketing methods at checkout. So this has a little checkbox or whatever, and they can check the box and be part of your email. But the thing is, it doesn't really add them to any email list. It doesn't add them to MailChimp. It doesn't add them to Constant Contact. It doesn't add them to anything. All it does is put a notification next to the customer name under customers that says that they have subscribed or basically opted in for you to send them mail. So what you'd have to do, because it's pretty basic, right? So you'd have to export your customers, and then all the people that have the option of subscribe next to them, you export them, and then you import them into MailChimp, or Constant Contact or whatever email program you're using, and then you can send email marketing to them. So it's kind of funky. It's always best to add an app or add MailChimp or Constant Contact or Vertical Response or one of those email programs into Shopify to make your life a lot easier. Okay, because that's a really manual process and a pain in the butt. Abandoned checkout emails. Now, people who don't finish a checkout, they start going through the process. They add some stuff to the cart. They put their information in. Phone rings. They forget about the website. Kid screams. They forget about the website. They decide they don't want to purchase the product because it's too expensive. They leave the website. So what this is going to do is anyone who abandons their checkout, 10 hours later, it's going to send them an email saying, hey, we noticed you didn't check out. Here are some products you left in your cart. Please purchase, blah, blah, blah. So you can customize that message, offer them a coupon or whatever to try to capture them, but that will go out, and I'll show you where those emails are as well. Order status page. This is because the basic plans and regular Shopify do not allow you to control the last checkout page. Some apps and some developers have given you the ability to add additional scripts. So if you're tracking things or using Facebook pixels or heat maps or anything like that that's beyond the scope and it needs to go onto the checkout page, some apps and developers will supply a script that you'll be putting in here to allow them to track that page. Okay, so now checkout language, I got English, and now I'm done. I select save. Okay, so that one's finished. So that's our checkouts and regular plan. Shipping and delivery, you have to figure out how you are going to ship your products. Now, if you are going to do flat rate shipping for your products, you can do so. If you're going to sign up for a service like USPS, now Shopify has a USPS built into it. You still should get an account with them. You can get better rates. The same thing with FedEx and also yeah, what is it? What's the other one? UPS. You'd have to have an account with them, and once you have an account with them, you'll have to integrate it with in-app or with the service in the shipping settings. Now, you can add that in here and use their rates and everything. So we're just going to go ahead and do a quick setup for this. So right now, I'll just scroll down the page here. You got custom shipping rates. I don't have a profile. Each one of your shipping profiles does something, right? So one of them is my profile is general, right? And then you may have a profile where it's products that don't ship, and you can put all your products in there that don't ship. So if someone tries to order it, they're going to get an error message saying this product does not ship, right? Okay, so you can show backup rapes when the carrier rapes aren't available. You can click that, and then you can, here I'm going to click cancel, turn it off, turn off, okay. Processing times inactive. Show delivery times to customers by setting processing time. If you process orders in 2 business days or less, they'll be added, blah, blah, blah. So you could turn that on too and give them a little extra information. Local delivery. We don't deliver anything, right? So deliver orders directly to customers. If you're a pet store or you're someone else who does deliveries, beer, wine, liquor, whatever, you can turn on local delivery, then you have your tipping, and then you can add this right here. So if you do turn this on, so I'll go ahead and click on doesn't offer local delivery. This location offers local delivery. Select the checkbox, and it'll have a little save box there. Now when I come down the page a little bit more, local pickup, same thing. If I have a physical location, they can come and pick up at the store. I do not offer the pickup. Packages. So these packages here, package sizes, you want to select the basic default size for your package. You also have carrier packages where it's UPS, USPS. You can select whatever this is. All this is gives you a default small package that they're going to base their rates on when they do checkout. So say, for instance, everything that you order, or most of the stuff that you order fits in a box like this size, then they'll use these rates for checking out and calculate those rates based on the size plus whatever the weight is of the product, right? Shipping, Shopify shipping, you have discounts here. These are not set up by default. You will have to have an account with them. If you do decide to select one of these and use them, you are going to have an account again with those service providers. Packing slips, same thing. So packing slip template, you can click on that and edit that. Carrier accounts. If you have an existing account with a shipping carrier, connect it to your store using your own rates. So connect carrier account, and that's where you'll select one of these. And then if you have a UPS account, USPS account, or a UPS account, you're going to want to have that account dashboard open, at the same time and then select connect account. So I'd go to ups.com, I would log in there, I'd come back in here and I'd select connect account. That way it allows the browser to say, hey, it's already accessed, I can get in here. And then you'll approve the connection, right? The same thing with FedEx, the same thing with USPS. If you need help with this, please reach out to me and I will help you out, maybe for a fee, depending on how your store is and how you interact with me. Custom order fulfillment, and add email of customer fulfillment service fulfills your orders. So if you have a company, a warehouse that's doing all your fulfillment, you can add that in here. I'm not going to cover that in this video. So that's the basics for the shipping. We're going to go to general, and this is where we're controlling all of our rates. We'll click on manage. Now if we look in here, we've got all our products are starting to show, are going to be adding to this shipping from my main location, and that's under locations. So if you have 4 locations, you can add them under locations here. I'll come back to this, watch. So I'll go to locations. I can add different locations. So say, for instance, I have warehouse 1, warehouse 2, warehouse 3. You'd have inventory at each place, and each of your products is going to have an inventory that's based off that location. So if warehouse 1 carries all my teddy bears, and I go to products, my teddy bear 1, teddy bear 2, teddy bear 3 are going to be fulfilled through warehouse 1. And that's going to keep all my inventory. Warehouse 2 has all my inventory for my resistance bands, right? So that's going to ship out all. So, and that's where you keep the inventory. It's always best to keep one location if you can, so you don't go crazy. So we'll go back to shipping and delivery. I'll go back to manage. Sorry, my dogs are barking in the background. Let me close the door. Sorry about that. Okay, so now if I go down to the profiles here, so I have USA by weight. So now what I did with this store, I initially was doing a how-to video for this. I did set up these conditions in here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all this stuff. So let me delete this. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this. Okay, so now I got USA, no rates for customers in this zone, and be able to check out. So now what I need to do is go. So if I go create shipping zone, I can call it whatever I want to call it, and then I pick, so say I want to just do Asia and Afghanistan, I can put shipping zone at Afghanistan. I'm not going to do that. I did create this one here. Let me just delete it. I'll just show you here. Delete. Okay, so now I don't have any shipping zones. So carrier name, DHL, got nothing. So I have to come in here first, click on create shipping zone, and I'm just going to type in USA, and then I'm going to put in search for USA, put United States. Here we go. So I'll select United States. Now there's 62, right, of states in here. So if you look in here, a lot of people are not going to ship to Alaska because it's expensive, and to Hawaii because it's expensive. And then you have these other Marshall Islands. Let's see what else is in here. There's some weird ones. U.S. Virgin Islands. Some people don't ship to these places, so you can deselect them. Armed Forces Americas, Armed Forces Europe, Pacific. So you may not ship to any of those. Those are called APOs, right? So I'll select done. And then I'm going to call this shipping rate. So USA Continental. To whatever. I'm just going to call it USA. So hit done. And now I want to create another one for Alaska and Hawaii. So I'll just call this one Alaska and Hawaii because I want to have different rates for them, right? So I'll just do United States. Now, if you notice, what's going to happen here, stated, states, 0 of 62 states. So I'll click here, this drop down. And then so notice, see how these are already selected because they're in my other zone. I can't select them, so I can select Alaska. And then wherever, Hawaii, there we go, Hawaii. And then I'll select done. So now I've got Alaska and Hawaii. So let's do the USA first. I know Alaska and Hawaii are part of the USA. So let's add a rate. So we can set up our own rates, and then we could say how long it's going to take, and then we can do the price of it. So if I want to charge 30 bucks, right? And then I want to add my conditions. So I could base it on the item weight, or I could base it on the order price. So if my item weight, I know my item weight is so 0 to 20 pounds, I'm going to charge them 30 bucks, right? And I'll hit done. So now I go 0 to 20, it's going to cost them 30 bucks. But if it's over that, what if it's over that? So now I go add another rate. So I may have, standard, express, custom flat rate. So you can change this to whatever you want, and you can make your own rates. So say, for instance, I wanted this to be free, and then I want it to be add conditions on order price. And so I'm going to say minimum price needs to be 100 and no max price, and I'll hit done. So what's going to happen here is if someone orders anything over 100 bucks, I'm going to ship it to them for free. Okay. So even if it's 0 to 20 pounds, if they order over 100 bucks of stuff, they're going to get it for free. So now I'm going to go ahead and see economy, and I'm going to add, now I'm going to add another rate, and I'll call it standard, 3 to 4 business days, and then I'm going to go add conditions, and then I'm going to keep going by weight because that's what I'm doing. But you can do by price. So if you want to go by price, if it's 0 to 50 bucks, you can charge $10 or $20, $30. So I'm going to base it on weight. So that was 20 pounds. So I need to go 20.01, which is 20 pounds in a fraction, right? And then up to 30 pounds, and I'm gonna it's gonna be 50 bucks, and then I'll hit done, and it's gonna give me standard, right? But see how it goes 0 to 20 and then 20.01 to 30. If you go 30 to 40, if you do 0 to 20 and then you do 30 to 40, you're missing everything in between 20.01 up to 30, and then when someone goes to try to check out, they're gonna have a problem. So make sure that you are adding this in here, 20.01. I'll do another one. Let me just select another one. I'll do here my rate. I'll just do another 5 to 8 business day, whatever, and then I'm going to call it 75 bucks, and then add conditions. And then what am I going to do? 30.01 to 100, whatever, 100 pounds. And hit done. But notice what I did here is I covered all the weights in between, right? So now I did that by, these are my rates. These are my weights based on weight. So now if I have a carrier, I can go add rate, use carrier app or calculated rate. So you click here, right? And then you want to use USPS, and then you want to say, I only want to use first class and first class package. Automatically show new shipping services to customers when they become available. So if there's, another option, say you selected all these and there's another option that they decide to add, it'll show, but whatever. So handling fee, you can charge a 1% handling fee or whatever you want, or a flat amount, and then select done. Now what will happen is when someone goes to check out, I got a carrier rate, right? UPS discounted rates from Shopify shipping. So I got 2 services over here, first class and package. So technically if I go through and try to go through the checkout process, it should charge them for that. So let's also set up Hawaii. So I'm gonna just set up Hawaii. I'm gonna say set up our own rates. We're gonna call it Alaska, Hawaii, and then we are going to go conditions, and we're going to charge 200 bucks. So minimum weight, maximum weight is 100. So whatever they order weight wise up to 100, and anything over that, they're going to get an error message. So if you have heavy products, obviously you want to put all your weights in here. I'll select save. So now I've got my rates for Alaska, Hawaii, my rates for the USA, and my rates and stuff like that. So and you can go through and test these out. I'm not going to do that right now, but if you go to taxes and duties, next thing, you've got US taxes. This does it automatically. So if you have additional items, all prices include tax. You can include tax in your products. This is really up to you. Charge tax on shipping. Some people do that. I don't recommend it. Locations, we just covered that if you have multiple locations. Gift cards, if you're going to sell gift cards, you can expire them, never expire. You can enable the wallet passes as well. So if they go to pay for that, you can go ahead and read about that here. Markets. So primary market, become a true global business, choose countries and regions you want to sell to. You could read about this yourself, get in here and read about the information in here. It's all the international stuff and whatever. But I say if you're in the US right now, stay local till you get your feet wet and then start selling internationally. Apps and channels, sales channels. So we have a couple, just Hulk product options. I add that as a test in one of my videos. But you can add apps to your website to extend the functionality. Just be careful that they're not like really heavy, meaning that if you add the app to your store, is it going to slow your store down? It'll affect your SEO. I'm not going to cover adding that in here. I'll cover adding apps in another video because this is a pretty long video. So domains, when you're ready to hook up a domain name, you'll go to connect existing domain. So if you purchased a domain through GoDaddy, for instance, you'd want to go over to GoDaddy, go ahead and log into GoDaddy in another tab on the same browser, and then come back in here and select connect existing domain. When you select existing domain, you type in the domain name, howwhatever.com, and then it's going to go next. It's going to look for your domain, and it'll say GoDaddy, whatever, say connect, and then you'll connect it. And then that'll be it. That'll be done. It'll connect it for you. Okay. Do not buy a domain from Shopify. I'm sorry. You'll get confused, and it's weird how to access it and everything. So don't go to somewhere else like Namecheap or whatever if you're going to buy it through After Dark Graphics. If you want to buy a domain, go to our reseller portal. There's a link down below. Brand. You can use most common for logo applications. You can add square logo, other logos, primary colors, secondary colors, cover images. So this is all your brand stuff here, short description, social links. You could add everything in here if you want to do it in here, but we're going to do it inside the theme. So notifications, this is, where do your email notifications go, order confirmations and stuff. And then you scroll down here and you've got your order notifications, Shopify email tracking, staff order notification. So if a new order comes in, it's going to go to my email. Please don't spam me. And then you could send a test notification if you want, and that's going to shoot me an email. Okay. So you could read through this. Just click through Shopify email open tracking. So Shopify has been giving email. It's called Shopify inbox to people. It's random. Some people get it added to their accounts. Some people don't. You can click on these, but they're in code, so they're kind of hard to edit. So you're not going to want to really mess with these. You can preview them to see how it's going to look to the customer. But if you know how to code, great. They don't really have a WYSIWYG thing in here, right? So you can do this yourself. So it's one little thing. It's a pet peeve of mine with Shopify. They should allow that because people don't know how to edit that stuff. Meta fields. These are custom fields that allow you to add stuff to products or collections or pages. It's technical, so if you don't know how to use it, do not use them. But they allow you to add them to different things. So say, for instance, you're selling fences and you wanted to show the width of the fence, the height of the fence, the vendor, the color, all that other stuff as options on the page. You'd have to add them as meta fields onto the product. And then you'd have to grab that code and put it underneath the product inside of the template. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show add definition. So you'd have to come in here to do it. I'm not going to do it in this video. I will show you in another video. Policies, we went through all of that. So now we've gone through, we selected all this stuff. Payments, if I was ready to launch this thing. Development stores can only process test payments. If you click on activate Shopify payments, you're going to need your driver's license as well as your bank account information available and your phone number. They are going to text you, for stuff like that as well. And then they're pretty fast about, accepting, you as a vendor, right? So that's why a lot of people use it. You can add PayPal. You can add Amazon if you want to. They do charge on top of PayPal's fees. So PayPal's already charging you like 5%. And then Shopify is going to charge you a percentage fee on top of that. So it's pretty expensive to use them on here. Manual payments. So if you're testing stuff out, you want to do COD or money orders, you can do that in here. I don't recommend it, but you can go through and do test payments if you want. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. So users and permissions. If you want to add other staff accounts to your account, you can. You can select add staff right here, and then that person will get an email. They'll then be able to log into your store and work on your store. But that's a staff person. You also have collaborators. So me as a Shopify partner, as an expert, I will log into my dashboard and send you, say for instance, you want me to work on your store or do an edit. Well, I'll send you a collaborator request, right? And then it will, you'll approve the collaborator request, and then it'll allow me to log into your store without using your staff accounts. Because some of the Shopify programs, they'll give you 5, 10, whatever staff accounts, or 15, I think it is. But once you use those up, say you have a bunch of people working for your company and you want someone to help you out and work on your website, you're gonna have to delete somebody in order to add, let them work on your site. So the collaborators allows the ability for somebody to work on your site without using up your staff account. Okay, so now we've gotten through some of that stuff. We're going to cover 1, 2, 3. Blog posts, we can go over that if you want. Real simple. You can go to blog posts, and then if you want to manage blogs, you can change the actual names of the blog. So if you want to call your blog something different than news, news is the default blog that is created when you make a blog on Shopify. So I go add blog post and call this my test blog. Blah, 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 blah. Add your image, add the alt tag, all your description stuff, add your text for the search engines. Remember, we're going to put in test blog dash and then my cool store. Add a featured image, and then you're going to want to make it visible. And then you have who it's posted by, and then where it's going to be, which blog it's going into. So we're just going to leave news. Then you can put in some tags in there. And then once it's finished, then you can select save. I don't think I selected it. Here we go. Select save. So now I got another blog available going. I don't have any image for it though. It's my test. So now, if we go over to, we're going to build out our menu for the navigation. So at the top of our store. So we want to, if you're interested in seeing your stores, you're working on it, you can go ahead and click on this little eyeball next to online store, and then you can go through and start looking at it. Now I'm going to get rid of all the stuff that's on the front just so you can see me start it from the beginning. So let's go to navigation. Now navigation, I have a menu on here. One, two, three. Now navigation, I have the main menu and I got this footer menu. So I'm going to go ahead and go to main menu. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff that's here just so you can see me create it. So when you get here, it's just going to say search. I think there's one item on the menu. Okay, so now this is the main menu. It's going to go across the top. I click on add menu item. So I do want my home page, right? So I'll just type in home. Or I can, as soon as I start typing, here, let's just do this. Just leave that there. Select home page. Now I got home. I'll select add. I don't want to call it home page. That's kind of ugly. Let's just call it home. You can edit it here. So this is where the link is, and this is where the name is that's going to show in the top menu. Okay, so let's do the next thing. I do have an about us. So you can click there, and you can click these and then dig deeper in, like pages, and then I can click about, and then that gives me the about, and then I'll do a contact. So I can either type in here where the search is, type in contact. So I'll go to pages, and then I'll go to contact, and then select add. And now I want to add my other menu items. So I do want to add my category stuff. So if you start running out of items at the top, like space at the top, you can get rid of some items that you really don't need to have at the top. So a lot of people don't need to have a home because they can click the logo to go to the home, right? So let's go ahead and put our gadgets manual, and then let's select add, and then let's add another one. Let's add our so I can click again. I can type in gadgets, right, and it'll start giving me what I want to have. So I'll go to collections and then go to gadgets smart, and then I'll select add, and then I'll go add menu item. Click here. I'll just go to collections, and then let me go to kitchen, and then hit add, and then I'll go to add item, go collections here, and then kitchen smart. So let's go to men's suits, add, and then add item, and then I'll go to collections. If you notice, you can add other things to the top menu as well. So if you are interested in adding your terms or pages or anything else at the top, you can. So you can go and notice here's policies. It does. So see how it does have the policies already done, but that's from the settings page. But we have our own policies that we created, that we control better, right? So I can put privacy up there, shipping and returns and refunds, just call it shipping or whatever. Or you can have one called track order, So if you wanted to have track order up there, and you can make your own links. So say I have track order, so I'll put track order, and it doesn't really have anything for me to do that. I'll put in pages, there's nothing there. So I don't have a link for it. So you're going to want to have them link and log into their account here. So let's go here, let's put in a pound sign. That just gives us a link to the top of the page, and we'll call it track order. So you'd really want to send them to the login page, and I'll show you that how that's done. But let's select add. Okay, so I don't want the contact form there. I want to move it to the end. So now it's going to be at the end of my menu. When I'm done, I'll select save. And now I'll just refresh this page. And it takes a little bit. So you got to wait for the caching, right? I'm going to go ahead and close this tab. Now, when you do the save here, it takes, sometimes a minute or more sometimes to update, for this to update. Look, it's still not updated yet. I'll hit refresh again. I'll hit refresh again. There we go. So it finally popped up. But notice now I got home, about, gadgets manual, gadgets smart, kitchen, men's suits, shipping, track order. I'll go to gadgets manual. There's all my products. I'll go to gadgets smart. There's the products again, right? So I'll go to kitchen. There's there, men's suits, whatever. They're all the same. You notice you have the sorting as well here. So now if I go to home, now I got too much stuff up here. It looks crappy, right? So I don't really need 2 gadgets on here, or I want to have gadgets smart underneath gadgets and have gadgets manual. So now what I would end up doing is I want to have the word gadgets, and I want gadgets manual and gadgets smart underneath gadgets. So I'll create a new menu item, and I'll use the pound sign, and I'll put pound, and I'll call this gadgets, and hit add. So now I've got that. I'll just take it, left click, and drag this guy right up to right under about. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and just drag them offset underneath gadgets. And that's it. And now I'll select save. Now I've cleaned up some of that. So now I'll go ahead and look at the store again. And now it's going to take a minute. Notice how it's not updated. Refresh, refresh. And I'm gonna refresh right now. Let's see. Come on. Come on. That's the only thing that's kind of annoying. It doesn't do it like right away. There we go. So it'll just take a second. So now if you look at this, now I've got Gadget Smart, Gadgets Manual as my dropdown. That's pretty simple to do, right? So if I wanted to have about and then have shipping and contact and everything underneath that, I can really clean up the menu. So why don't I do that just for the hell of it? I'll put contact underneath about. You got to get that blue bar right underneath it, right? And you can add items right to it. So I can add an item right here instead of dragging. So say I wanted to add something directly to about, I can do it there. So let's put shipping there. Oh, now it's a menu of a menu of a menu. That's too deep. Let's do it here. Let's do it. See, it's a little bit of a pain in the but, and you're going to want to play around with it so you can get it to work. Drag it above that one. Okay, so now I've got that. Select save. Okay, so now I've got a couple products. I've got some collections done. I've got a couple pages done. I've got my about page, contact page, stuff like that. So in contact page, I really didn't add any information. So let me see what's here. It's our State Street. So this is going to show a form. So the contact page is the only one with the form on it. And then that form is going to be emailed to you, the admin. Okay, so it's pretty no bells and whistles, right? Very blah, blah, blah. Okay. So now we got our navigation created for the top. Now if we want to do our footer as well, if I click here and look at it and scroll down to the footer, you got this quick links that's showing up right here. So I can make a footer menu for down there and make another menu. So it just depends on what you want for your site. I'm going to leave it the way it is now because you already know how to make a menu. And then these filters are the things that show up on the sidebar. I'll talk about those in a few. Let's go to preferences. This is the last little thing you want to do here. So here's a fitness product. So we're just going to call this My Cool Store. And then you're going to want to do your meta description for the search engines. And if you have a social share image, it's important that you do this 1200 by 628 pixel thing. You could use Canva or Photoshop or whatever, but you're going to want to make the image that size. And then when you add it, you can add it up in here. And I'll just show you one. Let me just go to Miracle. Let's see. Miracle Botanicals. So these guys, let's see if I got one. think I did one for the logo. I don't know where I put it. Anyway, let me just upload this one. I think it's wrong. It's not the right size. But say, for instance, that's 1200 by 628, right? That's what size you want to keep there. Google Analytics account. So if you have Google Analytics, that's where you would paste your code. I'm not going to go over that in this video. I'll cover that. Set up a pixel. I'll cover that in another video. Privacy, you can turn all that. Activate limited data, blah, blah, blah. Under California Consumer Protection, customers in California have the right to opt out of the sale of data. Activate it. Yes, we can activate it if we want. Click on activate, customer privacy banner, install app. So you got to install an app to do that, and then it'll do little pop-ups and stuff and say, you know, hey, here's, you know, we collect data. Is it okay? You know, so you do have to install an app for that. We're not going to do that. Spam protection. So enable Google reCAPTCHA on contact and comment forms. Enable on login. So you're going to want to leave this enabled so you don't get a bunch of spam. And then select save. If it's bugging you that the login, create, and the password recovery has CAPTCHA, then just leave it enabled. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and build the store. So now we got everything going. So we're going to go to online store, and then we have this default updated copy of Dawn. It's going to say Dawn. It'll say. It's not going to say updated copy. The only reason it says that because I did have Dawn on this theme on this Shopify store, and I went ahead and updated it to the version 2.0. So we had the previous one. So we're going to go ahead and go to customize. When we go to customize, we have the ability to do a bunch of stuff. Now, what's really cool is now you can actually roll over these things and click on them, and then it's going to let you edit them over here. Now, if my screen is really big, it's going to make a left column and a right column. So if I have really high screen resolution, I'll have these 3 columns like this, okay? Now, also in this regard, if you're working on this and you want to see how your website looks in desktop or mobile, you can click on these and you can actually see how your website's going to look when you're developing it. So you could go through. It's always best to do so that's how it looks on full screen, desktop. I'll usually just keep a tab open and then just look at it. I got multiple monitors, so I'll just look at it as I'm developing it, and I'll do the mobile stuff last if I need to tweak it. So we're going to go through this right here. So you've got all these options, stuff's going down the page. You know, how'd you get it on here, right? So announcement bar is this welcome to our store. If you click on that, it's going to highlight this, and it says welcome to my store, right? And then you could mess around with the backgrounds on here. You got accent 1, you got accent 2, and then you've got background 1, you got background 2, and then you've got inverse. So it's black. Now, if you look at these accent 1 and accent 2, those are the theme accents. And the background 1, background 2 are a part of the theme itself. And these accents are the colors that are under theme settings over here. And I'll show you that in a second. So let's just go ahead and save that because we just updated that guy right there. I'll go to theme settings, and if you look at this, you got colors, and now you'll see primary, and then you got accent. So if I made accent 2 red and saved it, and then I came back over here to my announcement, and I wanted accent 2, it changes to red. So that's how you change the colors really fast for that kind of thing. If you're going to use these drop downs, right, for that. Okay. You can also link up the announcement bar. So if you said free shipping or you're using an emoji or whatever, you know, welcome to my store, and then here's an emoji. If you have this app installed, then I'll just grab, here's Fire. Yeah. Okay, so you can do that. It makes it look cheesy, but whatever. And you got header. So in the header here, you've got your, again, background 1, you got your thing, so you can make it all red if you want. So let's make it accent 1. It's black, so let's just leave it black. We'll do a logo. Let's just upload here. We'll just use this one for her. Now, if you notice, it's in the center, and then it's not off to left and right. I'm going to zoom out just one more so I can make this a little bigger on my screen so I get the menu, because it was giving me a tablet version. So now I'll go ahead and select it. Now remember, if you do add the logo, don't forget to add the alt text, right? So whatever your store is called, you know, My Cool Store, and then whatever your product is going to be, throw that in your title because that's going to be your logo, right? So white on black looks pretty bad like that. So let's just go to accent 2, accent 1. There, background 1. There we go. That's pretty. All right. So now the custom logo width, it's real small, so I can make it bigger if I want. All right. Make it bigger. Middle left, I can do top left. All right. And I can do top center. And that'll make everything be in the center. So let's just leave it that way for now. Main menu is the menu I have here, but if I wanted to change that to the footer menu, I could, but I don't want to do that. I just want to go here, make that the main menu. So let's go back, scroll down. Separator line, that's the thing underneath here. Sticky header, if I scroll, it's going to, saw how it just kind of sticks up there. Spacing, section padding, you can mess around with all this stuff. It's the spacing in between things. This is the padding right here. So top padding, so if I close this down, get rid of that, notice how it's going to make it closer to the top bar. So I'll just leave that what it was, whatever, 20. Okay, then I'm done. I'll select save. So I can go down and I can actually just go ahead and edit these things by scrolling down and clicking on them, and it gives me little options to either delete them or to edit them and change them. And then it shows you the button links and the second button and the first buttons. So if I had another button in here, test, and then it's going to have my link, and I'll go to blog post, whatever, and blog. Now I've got these 2 buttons. So let me scroll back up. I want the first button to link to product page. There you go. So let's go back. Let's leave the page. Oops, let's go back into customize. What the hell happened there? All right, anyway, so I've got this huge image banner, right? Well, I don't like this banner, and I don't want this thing here. I want to have like a cool thing, something else showing there. So what's cool about this is you can actually drag these items, right? I'm going to click on the left nav. So say, for instance, I want to have featured products all the way at the top of my site. I can just go ahead and click here, drag it right above image banner, and now it's going to put all my products right at the top. And then so it automatically does that. Pretty cool, pretty fast. You got your text here, and you can talk about the brand. You can type and start typing over here, whatever. And then you can do medium size, large, whatever size you want. Pretty simple. Button label, then you can link it to whatever you want to link it to. And then you also have the colors. So if you're clicking on the buttons, and then you've got this other stuff here, connect dynamic source. First button, here, let's go, whatever. Gadgets manual, all right? Use button style. Got its own style there, whatever. Okay, so use button style is another thing under theme settings. And you can come over here under buttons and then change the buttons around. And you also have typography where you can mess with all the fonts, the entire store. Okay, so if you want to change the fonts for the whole thing, so if you look at this one, I'll go to here. Let me just grab Archivo Narrow and see how that affects everything. So I selected that, and then notice how it's changed here. See it? So it's narrow. Everything else changed. So let's try something that's a little more funky. Here, Biorhyme. Yeah, see, it changes everything. So you can change that, and then you got your headings. So I'll say select to make sure I get it. So you got your body font, and then you're going to have your headings. So here's the headings right here. So I can change that one to be whatever, Chivo. And now it's Chivo, right? And you got to select, and you select it. And you can go down and you can mess around with the rest of the stuff that's on here. Your social media, so that's going to be all your social media accounts. We don't have them shown because we don't have anything on here yet. So if you want to just put them in here as placeholders, you can put the pound sign in here until you actually add your social media accounts. Whatever. I don't know what you're going to use. YouTube, Vimeo. All right. You have your favicon. Yeah, let's see where to put the social media. Oh, it's probably not even showing because we don't have it enabled in that. But anyway, so you got favicon, which is the little thing that's going to show up in the top, way up in the top of your tab in your browser. So you're going to make a square one. You're going to want to make it like 32 by 32 pixels. So we're going to leave all that settings as it is. Let me go ahead and make this a little bigger. So if I want to add something else onto the page, something that's different, I can select add section. And then I have all these cool things. So I can add the blog posts. I could add collapsible content, which gives me like these question answer things. And when you click on them, you have your information, right? Row content, collapse row 1. So if I click that now, it's going to give me the information. There's my FG, right? If I wanted to add a section collection list, this could be all my collections. And then I'd have to actually go and select which collections I want to show here. So in this case, I'll do gadgets manual. And remember that image I was talking about earlier? That is for the collection image. See how it shows here? That's what's going to happen. So if you don't have images for the other ones, it's going to grab a product. It's going to grab the first product from your collection and show that image instead. And notice that when I went to this other one over here, the image disappeared because you have to select them for each one. Click, 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 right? So you got to select it. Click, select, kitchen, select, right? Save. So now I've got my collection list, gadgets, whatever. Let's do another one. So add selection, contact form, custom, liquid, don't deal with that. Email sign up, don't bother with that. Featured collection, so if you wanted to show products like I have at the top here that are featured products, you can do that. You just select the collection over here. You can put in your information. That's going to show right here, blah, 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 blah. Show collection description from admin. Let's see what that is. No, we don't want that. Okay, so select your collection. So I want my gadgets, and I got 3 products in there, and I'll select. And then the next thing I want to put on here, let's see, image banner, featured product. What else do I have? Show more. Image with text, slideshow, video. So slideshow, I want to do a slideshow. That's what I want to put at the very top. So for the slideshow, I'm going to drag that all the way to the top because I want that to show at the top of my website. And then I got these image slides, so I can choose what images I want. So I'll just put her there, and then we'll do the next. So remember, you got to select it. You got to select it, right? And then you can choose whatever you want to say on her face and all that fun stuff, right? Button label if you're going to link. You can just look at these. They're pretty simple to set up. I'll select save. I'll do the next image slide, and then I'm going to select the next person here. I'll do this one here. How's that? So select. Now it's kind of hard to control the size of the images. If you want it to fit exactly the way you want it to fit, you're going to have to mess around with it in the photo program. But and then if you're trying to move this content around, you can actually move the box. See how it's over to the right now? Or you can move it to the bottom right of the image. So now it'll show down there. So it's really up to you where you want to put the actual box itself. And then you can mess around with the image overlay opacity. So if you wanted to have an overlay on it, you can have an overlay as well. I'm just going to select save. Kind of funky. And then in order to control the height, like it's really tall, right? So we'll go ahead and click on the thing that says slideshow itself. And notice it says full width, right? And then it says adapt to first image. So if I just select small, watch what happens to the banner. Now the banner's small. See that? If I go medium, it'll give me a medium size, pretty big. If I go large, it's going to go even bigger. And then if I do adapt to first image, it's going to keep the banner as tall as whatever that first one is. So I'll put dots because I want to see dots down here because it looks better. Auto rotate the slides, and every 5 seconds you can change that. Show content below images on mobile if you want. Slideshow about our brand. So once I select save, and then I'll go ahead and take a look at this now. So let me just go to exit, and I'll go to online store. And I've got, this stuff going on here. Got welcome to my store, searches over here, all my things working. Scroll down, there's my image slide with my button. You notice you have this bar at the bottom too, so you're going to want to exit that. That's just for the admin because you're logged in as admin. There's my featured products. There's a stupid image that I had talking about my brand. I can do a multimedia collage with a video and other things in here. I could show a video here. Multi-columns. This is usually like security, etc. And then, you have your collapsible rows that I added, and then I have collections and featured collection. And then I've got my footer stuff going on down here. So let me go up and adjust some other things. So let me go back to customize. Now I don't want to show some of this stuff because I'm not ready to show it, but my site's going to be live. So if I didn't want to show like this right here, I can go to image banner and just select the eyeball. So you don't have to delete it, right? You can come back and work on it later, right? So the same thing with the collage here. If I select this and I don't really have anything for the video or anything, I can go ahead and select that and it'll hide all that stuff. I don't have a video right now, so I can hide that, right? Collapsible content. So I've hidden all that. So now the last thing I can do is I'll go down to footer, and then I have the footer. Over here you've got different backgrounds again that you can work with. We can do inverse and make it look cool. Email sign up, I always just turn it off. You can leave it on if you want, but again, what it's going to do is when someone signs up, it's going to put them a little notice just next to their name as a customer. So here's the social media icons. That's why they're not showing. So now they're going to show because I filled them all in on the actual setting. And then you're going to show the payment icons. They're only going to show when you launch the store and it's live. Top padding, bottom padding. Just go ahead and select save. Well, I don't need all the social media icons, so I'll just go back to theme settings and I'll scroll down and I'll go to social media. And I'm not going to do Snapchat, and I'm not going to do Tumblr, and I'm not going to do Vimeo. So see how they're disappearing? Let's see, Pinterest, whatever. So now it updates it for me there. Now I'll go back to footer. I got these two columns. Now I want to add another block, and I want to put an image or text or menu. So I'll put an image. Watch what it does. It's going to give me 3 columns now. So now I got the image. I want to throw the logo on here. Let's just say that Men's Health is the logo. Let's do this right here. Okay, and then we want it to be pretty big. And we will do flush left. And then I don't like the placement of it, so I'm going to move it in the beginning. So now it puts it there. Quick links, heading. So now I can, about, and then our mission, our mission, whatever. Our mission to rule the world. Okay. So now what you have is a store, and then select save. And then we'll go back and we'll select view. So we got our logo, we got our cool little thing up here, search, count. Oh, I was going to tell you about track my order. So what I usually do is just send them to the login page. So you can click this link and then just copy up here what it's doing. So in my case, it's account/login, but I'll show you. So now look, there's my footer, and if I made it white, this would look nicer. But depending on the theme, like this is Dawn, right? So it's pretty basic, but it's good if you're starting and you just want to start getting in and start making some sales, and you want to just get your feet wet. So the buy buttons are a combination of the add to cart and the buy now button. I just want to get rid of the buy it now because I don't want the dynamic payment methods to show up. So I'm just going to turn that off. You could leave it on if you want to test it out and see if it converts for you, but I just turn it off. Let them go to the cart, let them add more product, right? You got your description, you got other stuff. Variant picker, so if I had small, medium, large, or I had another product, so let's just go to a gadget that I've got. Let me see, one of the gadgets I had different size, so this guy. So you can do that within here so you can see how this is going to interact with your page. Here we go. So here I got the variant picker, so if I turn that off, then it's going to hide those options, but you don't want to do that either. So this is the vendor at the top there, so if I decided to click on that and hide that, and then you also have this title here. So that's just one thing for the product page. You can also, and it's not a lot of changes, but you have a little bit of control over it. So then you have the control over the actual collections page here. So if you look at the banner, collection banner. So if you notice earlier, I was talking about you'd have to have a coder, maybe add the actual collection image for you so it shows on the collection pages. Well, that was incorrect. It is on some themes, so I do apologize, I misspoke there, but you just turn it on here, show collection image. And so now it's going to show gadgets manual, this is my manual, and then it shows it here, and then it makes the collection image over here on the right hand side. So I can elect to turn this off, and then it'll just give me the whole thing there, or I can keep that on. I can show background 2 where it's gray. I can do inverse where it turns it black. I can change it to accent 1, and then earlier we had changed accent 2, I think, to red, and then there we go, we can make it red. So I'm just going to go ahead and do background 1 so it keeps the same flow of the website. So now I've got the collection thing shown, so I'll select save. And then again, if I didn't want that to show, I could just deselect. It gets rid of the whole thing. So I get rid of that, get rid of that, I leave it all selected so it looks nice, right? And then you've got product grid here. So product grid, if you want to control how many products per page, like right now it shows 16, you can show up to 24 on this one. I think that's also a limitation on Shopify. Even if you do it in code, it still just shows 24 for some reason. Number of columns 4. So if I wanted to show less, my images will get bigger. So I can do it this way and they get bigger. 4 is usually a good number. 3 is good. And then 5 if you're trying to go all Amazon-y and stuff, make them smaller. But 4 is a good number. Image ratio, adapt to image. You can make this where it's set at portrait, and then it's going to crop over the images for you. If you go square, the same thing. It's going to look kind of funky unless your images. So we're going to adapt to image. And so in that case, we got these square images. Show second image on hover. So if there's another image, notice how it's going to change. Pretty cool. Show vendor. So if I wanted people to see who the vendor was. Show product rating if there is any reviews on it, but there aren't any. You have to install an app for that, product reviews. And then you have enable quick add button. So that's choose options, add to cart. It's always a nice thing to do too if you don't want them to go into the product. Some people leave it off. Up to you. You're going to have to test your own conversions. Filtering. This is the filter availability price. If you turn that off, that's going to get rid of those options. Same thing with the sorting. Okay, and then mobile layout, you have 2 columns. You can make it 1 column if you want, and then you can look at it in mobile. So I'll look at it in mobile, and then I'll make this 1 column, and now it's going to make 1 column for all my products. It's just a lot cleaner. So I'd probably do that, but I'm going to go ahead and go back. Desktop. So that's all done. I'm going to select save because I made some changes. And then you can go through the rest of these and see if it's something that you want to adjust. Not all your pages need to be tweaked, You can add stuff, so this particular page is your default page for every page that's on the site. So if you add another section, like you added a collage or collection or a contact form, like on these pages, it's going to show up on all your pages. Okay, so you probably don't want to do that, right? So you can keep the about, and then if you wanted to add something cool like images down below or a collage, like say you wanted to put a collage down below, media collage, you can do. Let's turn off the video and turn off the collection, and then let's add a product. One, two, three. So if you wanted to add something, you could add like a collage down at the bottom again or whatever. I don't know. It's, if you want it on all your pages, but it's going to be on every page. It'll be on the privacy page. It'll be on the terms page, the about page, collection page. So if you leave it default, it's going to have the title and the description. But if you wanted to add some other cool section to this thing, you can. Up to you. Maybe the multi-column form. If you wanted to show the 3 things, shipping, this, that, the other thing, you can do that. Then once you're finished, you go ahead and select save. Obviously, you can mess around with your other settings that are on here. So that's pages, blog posts, cart. Not a lot of settings there, but if you look at it, the cart, you've got these items here, and then subtotal price is right there. You want to leave this stuff defaulted. Checkout button, I don't know why you would hide that. Maybe because you don't want people ordering. Don't know. Add block. Again, you got nothing really to add in here. So let's see, what was that? You have your cart, and then you got this featured collection down below. I wouldn't have that on there just for conversion. You don't want any distractions. So you'd have just the cart, and then they go straight to the checkout. And that's a nice page right there. And then we will get into checkout. Let's see, we don't really have a lot of options for this. You're going to want to put your logo on here. Use that same size logo that you use for your share image on here. So if you look at this, Live in La Vicia La Loca, I don't really have anything. Doesn't have any sections, so we can't really edit it here. But if we go to checkout, here we go. You got the banner, and you've got the custom logo. So we'll go ahead and use that same one. And now it's going to put our logo up here once we select it. Position left. You can always go center, and it'll move it into the center. Background image. Some people like to put in, a lot of images and stuff like that. That's up to you. Background image. I don't know where you'd want to do that. There, takes up the whole background. You could do like a faded image back there or something. And then you got this other one here. Let's see what that one does. Yeah, okay, so that one's for the top banner. So you can put a banner at the top. That's kind of cool. So it'll be at the top there. So let's get rid of this thing right here. This is really bad. So let's remove that. Change the colors. So it's all pretty cool, okay? And others, you've got 401, search. So the search really doesn't have a lot of, if you wanted to put other stuff underneath the search. I say keep it clean, keep it simple, silly for a while until you get a handle of what's happening. Customer order. There's really no options for these things. I don't know why they have them on here. It's kind of weird. But that's really all you need to do to get your store started, get it going. And that's how you use the Done theme for Shopify. Any questions, comments? Please fill them out below. If I missed anything, sorry. It was a really long video. Have a good day or evening, wherever you may be. And please subscribe. I always make these videos. I try to make as many as I can when possible. Thank you.